Howdy. I'm Grey Pilgrim. Where are you? Oh, there you are. Okay. Got it. Well, yesterday I did a thing about the 31 caliber cap and ball. And today I thought, well, problem with any of the cap and balls is you got to have balls. You really have to have balls like this. Now, these days you can go down to your Sportsman's Warehouse or the like and pick up a box full of these in whatever caliber you need. But in the old days, the mercantile may or may not have ready-formed balls all ready for you to shoot, or conicals. And you have a gun, you need something for it. By the way, this is what in this latest video Mike Bellevue would call a barbecue gun. It's all engraved and stuff. It's kind of cool. And if you had a 44 or a 36, these are the kinds of bullets that you'd be shooting. These are little plaques that show the various kinds of conicals and balls that can be used. And kind of cool. Nice little display pieces. My cousin made those. But like I said, if you go down to the mercantile and they don't have what you need, well, you got to make your own. And the way you did it back in the day was with a mold. And there's a mold. It does one ball and one conical. And this is a 36. It's also a bit stiff. I think this one's a 36 as well. Yeah, that was a little better. Oh, and it still has a conical in it. Yeah. See? That's a trick that a lot of old mold users do to make sure that their molds stay clean, is just cast the last round in it and leave it in there. Well, I got to fix that later. This one's what is this one? It's about a 36, and it's just two balls. Kind of a neat one because it's got rubber, wooden handles on it. Excuse me. That these ones don't, which means that you can do maybe 2 or 3 rounds with this, or 2 or 3 castings, and unless you're wearing gloves, you're going to have to put that thing down. And even with gloves, you're going to have to put that thing down after a dozen or so. This one you can go all morning or afternoon with it, and you can just keep going. This is a Civil War vintage one, and this is a 31 ball. It's a single one, and it's in a cast iron mold, so it's going to be getting hot real quick, but it'll work. It doesn't have a sprue plate. That's, by the way, this is called a sprue plate, and it's what cuts off the sprue, which is a little bit of the glob of lead on top from the ball that's underneath. This one doesn't have one, so what you'd have to do is drop it out of the mold and then have a pair of dikes or other cutters on you and chop it that way. The rest of these do have sprue plates. This is also a cast iron one, by the way. It's 36, and it makes 2 conical flat nose bullets, of all things. This is about Civil War vintage as well. Kind of cool. These ones are modern clones. These are the kind of thing that you'd find in a box set of a Colt revolver. The original Colonel Colt revolvers came in a box, a wooden box, and it had a powder horn, a mold, the gun, and a few other little accessories in it, and usually a little plaque on it that amounted to the manual for the thing. It talked about how to disassemble it and put it back together again, which is really important for cleaning your gun. Black powder guns, after about 3 or 4 shots, they just get full of black powder fouling, and the only way to fix it is to take it apart. And with this, it's relatively easy. You just drive out this wedge, pull the barrel off, pull off the cylinder, and you got all the parts right there to fix it. And let's make sure. I know it is, but yep, empty. So there's your single action. This is, like I said, this is a fantasy gun. It's a 1851 44, which was never, well, actually they made one that I know of in the shop, but these were never released. Pieta, yeah, this is a Pieta, made these as a vanity thing, I guess, because they had the way of making the 1851, and then they just put a 44 barrel in it. And the thing about this, if you notice, it has a step right here in the base plate, and the cylinder itself is a 36 cylinder that's been necked up to 44 at this point right here. And I think that's called the water table. I have no idea why, but the base plate on a cap and ball Colt is called a water table. If you know why, leave it in the comments and tell me, because I don't know. I've heard many people call it that. Anyway, just thought I'd show you how these are made. And there they are, various molds. I have modern molds, but these are all in the style of the 19th century, so I thought I'd show those off. And this is definitely it's not a 19th century collection of bullets, but this is kind of old because if you notice, they're all corroded. Modern bullets are like this. They're shiny. These ones have been lacquered, I think, to stay shiny. This one, not so much, so they just corroded. Still work fine, but they look kind of icky. That's a technical term. Anyway, that's all I got to say, so happy trails.